Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new, please consider subscribing, and if you're not new, thank you guys so much for coming back. I really appreciate your support. Today we are going to be talking about the fragrances that I am really looking forward to wearing this winter. So my winter favorite fragrances for this year, if you will. I hope you guys had a great Christmas, and let's just get into it. If you want to see the fragrances, like my current winter favorite fragrances. That's like a tongue twister for me for some reason, and I'm not sure why. But anyways, I'm going to start with a perfume that's honestly, this fragrance I got last Christmas for my husband, and it is by far like the most special fragrance in my collection. Also the most expensive. But the reason it's so special is, first of all, it's luxury. Okay, this is something I would never have bought for myself because I would never have spent this much on a fragrance, but also it's super special because if you guys have been here for a while, you know that my husband is very sensitive to scents. And also, if you follow me on Instagram, you should, it's linked down below, then you kind of know my husband is exactly like the opposite of me. He's like a very like minimalist. He's very like practical. I am not a minimalist, obviously, but so for him to go and pick this out, he knows nothing about fragrances. He owns one cologne. He is very much like a signature scent type of person, but he knows that it's special to me and that I love it. So he literally went to Holt Renfrew and like sniffed out a million fragrances to find this with like no direction because I didn't ask for it or anything. But long story short, that was a lot of talking. But when he picked it up for me and got it for me, first of all, I was so excited, and second of all, it's literally something that I would buy for myself. Especially out of like the whole range, this is the one that I would have bought. So the notes for this, it's called Loubirouge, by the way. The bottle is gorgeous. It's a lot. It comes with a different lid, like if this is too much, but obviously it's a red bottle because of the red bottoms. The notes of this, there's only 3 notes listed. It's cardamom, iris, and vanilla. Now, if I had to describe this, it's a warm, cozy scent. It's basically like a spiced vanilla, but don't think like peppery spice. Think it's obviously, I can't talk today. It's cardamom. So think like aromatic spices, you know? But it starts off pretty loud. Oh, I don't even like to waste this because it's so expensive. The opening is kind of loud and it's very like spicy and woody, like oriental in the opening. But then it settles down into this fluffy, warm vanilla. Like it's a warm, slightly spiced vanilla. It's very comforting. It's not too loud, but it's loud enough that people notice when they get close enough to you. And it's honestly just so beautiful. If this was a texture, it would be velvet because it's soft, it's sweet, but it's not overly sweet because it has like, it's so well blended and balanced, but it has like this fluffy, almost like fuzziness to it, like velvet. Like honestly, that is what I picture. And it is a beautiful, if you like vanillas, the opening of this is loud, but it settles into like this beautiful, soft, warm, slightly like spiced vanilla. It is so good. If you like vanillas, I feel like you would like this because even though there's cardamom, and I know not everybody likes that, it's blended so beautifully. There's nothing like loud, there's nothing like screechy about this. It's so well blended. Obviously it's very expensive, so I hate to recommend that, but I'd be lying if I said it wasn't one of my winter favorites because I wore it all winter last year when I got it after I got it for Christmas, and I've already worn it a ton. I don't wear it only in the winter time though because like I said, it's not like super loud, so I feel like I could get away with wearing this in the evening, just maybe not like in extreme heat in the summertime. But I live in Canada, so most of our year here is pretty cold, let's be real. So I could wear this in the evenings. And obviously, because my husband picked it out, he loves it. So it's a win for me. Next up, this bottle is everything. This is Diptyque's Eau Duelle. This is the Eau de Toilette. And this one is actually what I wore for Christmas Eve. So I had hoped to get this video up before Christmas, but you know how it goes. And Christmas, the time like leading up to Christmas is so hectic, especially if you are a mother. So it didn't go up, but now I can tell you what I wore for Christmas. So this Eau Duelle was actually my Christmas Eve scent, and this is my wintertime vanilla. Now, I don't really think this is a safe blind buy because if you're looking for like a sweet, typical vanilla scent, you're like a vanilla, like gourmand vanilla lover, this isn't exactly that. This is like a fresh, woody, Christmassy vanilla. to spray somewhere else. I love the smell of this though. This is different than anything I own in my collection. This is different than all of my other vanillas. It opens up honestly with like this kick of freshness. Think of like walking through like a Christmas tree farm, maybe like a Christmas tree, like a farm full of Christmas trees. So you smell that pine, you smell that cedar. It's a little bit woodiness. There's a little bit of like woodiness, freshness. It's green, like Christmas trees, honestly, mixed with a little bit of vanilla. Okay, the vanilla in this, like, you get it adds sweetness to the fragrance, but it's not overly sweet. This is not like a gourmand vanilla. It's like a fresh, wintry, like evergreen vanilla. So I really like that. And performance on me, a friend of mine said it doesn't perform well on her, but on me it performs very well. For an eau de toilette, it actually performs better than a lot of my eau de parfums. So I have no complaints there, and that is like a really good like fresh vanilla. It's not too heavy, but if you wanted to add more vanilla to it, I feel like that's actually pretty unisex. If you wanted to add more vanilla to it, you could just layer it with another vanilla scent, like Vanilla 28 or something, and I feel like that would add a little bit more sweetness. But on me, it's just like a fresh green vanilla because it's like walking through a Christmas tree farm, but mixed with vanilla. So I really like that. Okay, next up, in the same kind of family as Eau Dwell, actually, this one like reminds me of Eau Dwell, just minus the vanilla. And this is by Ellis Brooklyn, and it's called Apres. So the full bottle of this is actually kind of new to my collection, but last winter I must have got like 3 or 4 samples of this from Sephora, and I fell in love with it. I used up all of my samples, but I tested it like towards the end of winter, so I didn't see the point in buying the full bottle then, but I told myself this winter I would, and I did, and I got it during the Sephora sale, but I just didn't talk about it because I knew I wanted to mention it in this video. And I love this. So this reminds me of Eau Dwell. The notes, after I was looking, I went to write down the notes, and there are like some similarities. I'll say that after, but this is, okay, so you know how in the summertime you would wear a citrusy scent as like a freshie, you know, like a summer freshie? This to me is honestly a winter freshie. This still gives me like Christmas vibes or like winter vibes because you get like this woodiness, you get like this fresh woodiness. Think like cedar, think pine trees. So you're still walking through like a Christmas tree farm. It still smells fresh like that, but this one is 1000% more masculine. This is like, out of all of them that I'm going to talk about, this one is the most like masculine leading, just because there's not too much sweetness. There's like a tiny hint of sweetness, but much less than any of the other ones. So I feel like this would be good on a man or a woman. I personally love it. I don't mind that there's not too much sweetness because, again, I'm using it as like a freshie. And to me, this just gives me like this green woodiness, this earthiness. It's fresh, but still like wintry, like evergreens, like cedar, like pine trees, Christmas trees. It's still very good. This year, every time I was Christmas shopping, basically, I was wearing this because it still gives me, like I said, like that Christmassy vibe, but it's not like cloying, it's not heavy, it's not too sweet. It's just like, it's a winter freshie for me. Basically, that's what I'm using it as. I still love it. It's blended so beautifully. It smells so good. It smells like so fresh. I feel like this would smell great on a man. And like personally, if I wanted it to be sweeter, I could easily just add more vanilla to it. But then in my eyes, it would kind of be similar to Eau Dwell. So I honestly like it for what it is. I feel like this, out of all of the Ellis Brooklyns that I've tried, this one is my favorite. It's blended so beautifully. It smells honestly so expensive, and the similarities in here, actually, this one in Apres, it has juniper berries too. It has, so the notes are juniper berries, cardamom, saffron, bourbon, guaiac wood, suede, violet, and it says praline, but don't expect it to smell like a gourmand or like super sweet, because I don't get much sweetness. There's like a hint of sweetness, but it's not sweet, it's not overly feminine, it's not gourmand, it's like fresh, woody, earthy, green. That's what it is. But yeah, I guess the reason it was reminding me of Eau Dwell is because Eau Dwell also has cardamom, juniper, and saffron. So that's that. And then let's talk about a sweet one, because I don't even know if this is still available, but this is Pinrose Gilded Fox. Oof, this is what it looks like. I hope this is still available. It would be on the Pinrose website because it's not available at Sephora. But this is like winter in a bottle. Like when you go outside and you're freezing cold and you come inside as a little kid and you get like a cup of hot chocolate, but this is the grown-up version because this is like a spiked and spiced hot chocolate. There's rum in this, there's cacao chocolate. It smells like a milky chocolate, not a dark chocolate. It smells like a milky hot chocolate that has cinnamon stirred into it with a little bit of like rum or Bailey's or something, because it's not like super alcoholic, it's just like a hint. But you get like a hot chocolate with cinnamon, like a spiced hot chocolate, but the spices, think like aromatic spices, okay? So cinnamon, nutmeg, something like that, but it smells so warm and cozy and chocolatey. Chocolate is like the star of the show. This one doesn't last the longest, but I spray my clothes and it lasts longer on my clothes than my skin, and I truly don't care because I love the smell of this. And there's a candle from Bath and Body Works, I think it's called like hot cocoa and cream or something like that. That's kind of what this reminds me of, like, but in a perfume. So I love that. Winter in a bottle. Next up, this one is controversial because I feel like some people love it and some people hate it, but personally this was not love at first sniff, but I love her now. She grew on me, and this is Kayali's Vanilla Royale Sugared Patchouli. That's what the bottle looks like. It's gonna blind you. The notes on this are vanilla, Sir Absolute, golden rum, creme brulee, brown sugar, royal oud, and sugared patchouli. I have a full video on this, so I'm not gonna go too into depth, but oh, this wasn't love at first sniff, but now I love her. She plays beautifully on my skin, especially in the cold. And it's basically like a creamy sweet. This is very sweet because of like the sugar patchouli, because the vanilla in here is like layered. This is very sweet, but it's like a sweet, creamy, like ice cream vanilla with some earthiness and some woodiness. The earthiness is coming from the patchouli. The patchouli's there, but the patchouli and the oud, like, to me, they open up super scary, but then they settle. So yes, the patchouli stays, but it's in the background. And because that vanilla is so creamy and so sweet, I don't even mind, because on me, like, it just smells like a woody, creamy vanilla. It's delicious, and she is so beastly, so you don't need to spray a lot of her. Actually, if you spray too much of her, that's when you might not like her, because in this case, less is more, but I love this. I wouldn't say it's a safe blind buy because, like I said, it's kind of controversial. But for me, I love this, and especially for the winter time, it smells really good, and it's like so cozy on a winter sweater. I really like that. Last but not least, I could not talk about winter favorites and not talk about my baby. So one of my all-time favorite scents, like, it's gonna be no surprise, but it's Killian Angel's Share. This is a boozy gourmand cinnamon roll. Oh my god, this fragrance is one of those ones that just she speaks to my whole freaking soul. I love this. So it's boozy. I get the booziness. I get that sweetness. It's obviously very heavy on cinnamon, which is why I love it for the winter time, but I don't only wear this in the winter time. I'd be lying if I said that. I wear it in the evening for special occasions, and I feel like a lot of people associate this with me now because I wear the crap out of her. I also had, if this is out of your price range, which, I mean, I get it. I totally get it. Dapper has a very good clone of this, and I actually had both, and when I was being cheap and I did not want to waste her, I was wearing Dapper's version. They're honestly like very, 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 very close, but I recently gave that away because I felt like I wanted to share the love and I didn't need both. So if you want a more affordable option, Dapper makes a really good clone for this, and it's about the scent. The scent of this is so intoxicating. It smells so delicious. If you like cinnamon, if you like some boozy, warm cinnamon scents, and you like gourmands, I feel like you would like this. I love cinnamon. I love this scent. That is literally like one of not only my favorite scents, but like my most worn scents. So I feel like it's quickly become like what people associate with Amanda, me, because if I would make a fragrance, it would smell like this. Like, I'm almost sure of it. Anyways, those are all of my winter perfumes that I'm excited to wear this year. I try not to like repeat them. There are a couple repeats, but I'm just keeping it real because I don't want to film a video just to like film a video. And you guys said before that you like to hear repeats because, you know, I'm still loving them. So those are the ones I'm looking forward to wearing this year. I hope you guys liked this video. If you did, be sure to give me a thumbs up. Check me out on my other socials. They're always linked down below, and I will see you guys in the next one.